This is FanSpeak, a weekly live show where the fans of comics and its community are our guests. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is FanSpeak for what is this? The 27th of May. Ooh, it's coming along, guys. But we're going to have ourselves an interesting show here today. I would definitely check out our links down below, please. Also, hit up our the Twitter there if you want to get a hold of me, if you want to be on the show, or you have any suggestions for the show, or you want to be in the drawing recorder, what have you. Would love to have you guys over here and be part of it. But today we are going to be talking to Travis Miller, and we're going to be talking about his The Last Patrol, which is on Indiegogo, I believe. And we're going to be taking a look into that. Plus, we'll do our news stuff as usual. And I was pretty happy today, guys, actually, because there was a lot of happy news. The other day, we didn't have anything happy. It was really, hard to dig it out. But there's a lot of good stuff today. So we're going to have fun with that. But let me come over here and say hello to my panelist. I will start out with Mr. Todd Mulrooney. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good. Today's a big day. I hit the big 5-0.
You did. Today's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Should we sing him the song?
You don't want me to sing.
I can sing.
I'll
just
let
like
you
Marilyn.
and Slick. I'll let you and Slick do the singing. You both have wonderful, beautiful, sexy man voices. I'll let you handle it.
Well,
boy.
should we give him the Marilyn Monroe treatment?
No.
We need Booster for that, and I can't get him to wake up. So
That's
Happy weird, right? True Marilyn Monroe today. That is so
Mr. Todd.
Oh God, oh God.
Happy birthday to you.
Lots of leg, lots of leg. Okay.
I've never
anyway,
been
happy
more certain
birthday to
that
you,
I'm
sir.
straight.
I'm actually hitting the big 5-0 myself coming up here in June. So that means you're the older brother. Ha! All right, then. There you go. But I didn't know our birthdays were that close together, dude. What are the other birthdays in here? So, like, when's your birthday?
Just passed. I'm 51.
Oh, you're the elder brother. But when is it? April?
So.
May?
No. First part of May.
First part of May. How about you, Thundero?
December 5th.
Wow, put a 20 on that. It would have been much more interesting. Booster, of course, must be born on the leap year. He must be. It would be the only appropriate thing.
Obviously.
Yeah. But anyway, happy birthday to you, Todd. Nice to see you. How you doing, Slick?
I'm just peachy.
Was that an Atlanta joke? It could be. I'll take it.
Sure. And if you want to take it down south, dirty south, you know what I'm saying.
Oh no! I love the South. You guys have heard me talk about it. No sarcasm. And of course, you guys also know that I have to do a proper entrance here. Billowing white sheets rise up from the ground. Was laundry day yesterday? Is it today? Did we somehow forget? Lightning rips through them, destroying them, putting holes in. Mothers scream in agony. Stepping through with a grin of mischief. Mayhem. It is Thundero.
I really appreciate the extra sound effects there, Slick. That was good.
Yeah, Slick did a good job.
High quality. I appreciate that greatly.
You like that one? Yeah,
that was a good one.
Now the mothers hate you.
Nice and concise. Well, I mean, they usually do, but grandmothers, for some reason, I'm in. They all love me. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is.
My wife calls me a bachan magnet. Bachan is like middle-aged lady. Yeah.
Oh.
She says it both in frustration and humor, I guess, or sarcasm. So
at least you're not getting in trouble with schoolgirls.
Oh God, no, dude! I teach children every day. That's my God. They drool and they pick their nose. I mean, God. Anyway,
Kleenex around.
Yeah, no, that's not an issue at all. I kind of would think it would be weird that I don't want to get into that conversation, but as a teacher, I don't know how that would happen because I mean, you're with kids every day. It's like no, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, the old ladies like me. I don't know. I'm just a sexy beast, Thunder Arrow. What do you gotta do?
There you go.
I wasn't implying anything sexual in my statement, but sure. If you make the octogenarians happy, Booster, Chester, that's on you.
Well, Booster could use a little octogenarian help, actually. I mean, experienced old lady to kind of bring him into manhood. That'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Yeah, gum job never hurts.
Oh no! Oh God! Here we go. It's one of those days. Well, let's not do that because we got ourselves a guest today. So on best behavior, please. So let's come over here and say hello to our guest. Now we're going to be getting into news later, and we do have some fun things to talk about. But we want to say hello to our guest. So Travis Miller, how are you, sir? Now, he's been having some mic issue. The mic is on, but he's not being heard. I don't know what the problem is.
I don't either.
Yeah, you know what I'll do, Todd? Let me bring up the Hangouts, and I'll pipe him through that way. That might help. So let me get that done real quick. Hangouts is still available, so I've used this a couple times to kind of get around some issues. So let me do this, and then do like that. And then like shut myself off so I don't make any noise. Bring this over here. Do like that. All right. So Travis, I'm going to. Where should I drop this link, Todd?
Send it to my DM and then I'll send it to him.
Okay, I'll just drop it in the Discord to you. Then I'll just put it over here in the main. That's easier.
See, I don't know where that is.
The general in Discord, just the general in this the Discord channel. I'll just put it to you directly. How about that? I'll do it to you directly. All right, where is Todd? I do apologize, guys, but here we go. There's the link, and I gave it to you in the Discord to you directly. Just give it to him, and we'll bring him up, and that will solve it because I can hear him, and that we don't need to worry about the visuals because I have that handled. So you do that, and I will do this. All right, cool. Now Todd's gone. Yeah, good job. That's working out perfect. All right.
Here, I'll fix that.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Good. He moved him back over. So we'll wait for Travis to get over on the Hangouts, and we'll be able to have him piped in and be able to hear him. So we'll wait on that. While we're doing that, I do have some pretty cool news today, guys. There's not only is there some video game news, there's some comic book news, some movie or TV movie type potentials, but there's one thing I will cover here right now while we're waiting. I see him over there. So why don't you go ahead and talk, Travis? Let's hear from you.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can. Can you guys hear him?
Outstanding.
No.
What's going on?
I can hear you. How are we gonna work
You're
that
the only
out?
one in there with them. Yeah, you're in there with them. That's what
I don't.
See, now his mic just went out. I don't know. He's having mic troubles, dude. Because Hangouts, that's not a normal problem.
Chester, the stream can hear him, but we can't hear him.
No, I know they can hear him. I know they can hear him, but I kind of need you guys to hear him as well. But go ahead and speak again, Travis.
Hey, sorry. I have no idea what's going on.
Don't worry about it. We're working it out. It's all right, dude. We're doing it live. All right, guys.
Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
we
just
can.
making sure.
So do me a favor, everybody here, jump over to Hangouts. We'll do it that way for this show. So everybody,
Need
the link's right in there. You should be fine.
All right.
Just jump in there real quick, and we'll do it that way, guys. Don't worry about it.
Where's the link?
It's oh no, you're right. All right, I'm gonna put it in the right here in the general, right here, right now. There we go. So there it is, guys. Jump over here, and we'll just do it that way. That'll work out fine. All right.
Yeah, sorry about messing with your tech.
Oh no worry, dude. There's many ways to skin a cat, dude. All right.
I've always felt that holding it down works the best. Cats will fight you.
They will, clubs are necessary. That's a fair point. Yeah, well, it's disgusting. How dare you, sir? All right. All right. So, Travis, everyone's dropped over here now, so we're good. And let me go over here, and I'll leave it open. It's not going to hurt anything. Make sure we're not getting any echoes. We're not. All right. Cool. All right. So, Travis. All right. So here's the thing. Now, you're the creator of the Last Patrol. That we're going to be looking at here momentarily, but we always want to talk to our guest a little bit about two questions we ask. One, how did you get into comic books? You know, and two, how did you find this community over here, this indie revival community?
So I got into comics at a really early age. I think it was like 7 or 8. We moved around a lot when I was a kid, and we were on a long car trip, and my parents just bought me a bunch of comic books to shut me up. And from that point, I was hooked. I think it was like a Ninja Turtles graphic novel and some X-Men.
Wow, that's a way to start.
Hooked.
Goodness gracious.
Right?
Yeah.
And when I was a little older, maybe 12 or 13, I moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my neighbor down the street was Scott McDaniel, who at the time was working on Daredevil. And he took me under his wing and started teaching me how to draw and how to, write for comics. And yada yada yada. Here I am putting out my first indie project. I've worked on a couple of other small projects. I worked on the Korean War 60th anniversary graphic novel for the Department of Defense. And
cool.
I did small 8 to 12 page comic books for movie production companies, so that they could pitch that, use a visual representation to pitch to investors. And so they would get a little bit of the story, see what some of the visuals would look like, and use that as pitch material. And then I went into advertising for a while, and decided to go back into doing comics, because to me it's more fulfilling and a lot less stressful.
Oh, really? Yeah, we have a few people in our community that are in marketing and that kind of stuff. Still, they're trying to break into the comics or back into the comics, but there seems to be money in it, though.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how this campaign does before I start saying that there's
Oh, no, I
a
meant
lot of money in it.
marketing. Working in
Oh yeah,
there's money in that because we have a few people. One of our people we have over here, Jiminy Cricket, he does quite well in that. He creates logos and icons and commercial-based stuff. It's his thing, yeah.
yeah. So I was doing a lot of the graphic stuff, and also producing television commercials,
Oh, neat.
producing, writing, editing, and there is a lot of there is good money in it. It's just super stressful, and I felt that I'm better at telling longer stories, like in graphic novels, than a 30-second commercial for a plumbing agency or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. But hey, you do what you got to do. Well, that's cool, man. Well, let me bring up the thing here, and we're going to take a look at it. It's a pretty good looking project. So we were hoping to have you last week, but we got you this week. So we're pretty happy about that, and we're going to be looking into it here. It's a pretty cool project. So let me bring it up. There we go. The Last Patrol, based on actual events in the Iraq War. Okay, before I do anything, you got to explain that.
So I was in the Army for 15 years as an infantryman. So I did multiple deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. And this particular story that The Last Patrol is based off of was something that I felt at the time, well, not at the time, I wasn't thinking about it at the time, but directly after and for a few years after, it would make a great story to tell. I have a fascination with storytelling, whether it's movies, television, comic books. And so I thought that this would make a great story to get out about, these 18 infantry soldiers that are out on what they're thinking of as a typical combat patrol in the Iraq War. It takes place in 2005. And then things go awry, and they have to depend on themselves to survive the night.
Oh, that sounds cool. And thank you for your service. I actually almost went to the academy, but I went to Brown instead. So I could have. There was nothing going on at the time when I was going to university, but within a few years of that, of course, the whole was it Iraqi Shield or Kuwait Shield or whatever it was, Desert Shield, I think it was what it called, was kicking off. So I would have ended up and actually involved in stuff. By now, of course, I wouldn't be, but yeah, no, interesting because my family is mainly military, and I think we got a few people like that. We got any other military families in here? No, just me. Okay.
Not mine, no.
No, I had an uncle die. I mean, no, and my
hmm
grandfather was at Normandy, but I mean, not we're not military family per se.
No, no, I have a lot of military in my family. My dad's family, like every male in the family is military except for me. And my mother's family, they're all Navy men. Yeah, it's great to hear you were had yourself experience, and you're giving us some insight into it, which is neat. Now, I haven't looked. We usually look at the perks later, which we will do later. But one thing we've seen a lot of people over here in this community do is have a perk set up where they can give it to military people. They're like, you pay, you get a comic, and one goes to the military type of thing. Have you looked into doing anything like that?
No.
I see.
Just honestly, no. I never,
Yeah.
never thought about it.
I see.
I hopefully once this is all said and done and over with, I can get the book into AFES,
Oh, okay,
Army
I
Air
see.
Force Exchange
Yeah,
Service.
yeah.
So I think that would be a great way to get it out to them. But a lot of our backers are in the military or formerly.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't
and
want to pigeonhole it to just that
well, no, it's
demographic
usually an added thing.
psychographic.
It's an added thing. But you do got 10 grand you've made already, and you got yourself 5 days left. So congratulations on hitting your goal. Hopefully we can get this pumped up and could do some more. But let's take a look at the project here, and you tell us more about it here. 18 soldiers ambushed on a patrol must survive the night based on actual events, right, which you went through. Written by Addie and Telly Award winner Travis Miller. Art by Scott McDaniels. Whoa, yes, there you go, buddy. Derek Fisher and Rick Parker. Very nice. Rick Parker, that sounds awfully familiar. Why does that sound familiar, Todd? Todd, he's decided not to talk to me. All right, fine.
Todd is gone. I don't
is
see
he?
him.
Oh, okay. That Rick Parker sounds awfully familiar to me for some reason. But of course I know the first name. But looking at the art here, it's pretty good, dude. This is very much the Scott McDaniels type of stuff. So tell us about how did that come together? How'd you get your team together?
So when the project first, the idea and the formulation of it first came together, I was going to draw it myself, but I was having a really difficult time processing and getting through it. So I knew that I needed to find somebody that had a very dynamic storytelling sense. So I reached out to my mentor, Scott, and he was super enthusiastic about it. He helped me develop the script a little bit better for comic book writing because I'm used to writing for long form books or television commercials where
Sure.
The dialogue's campy or whatever. And just through the process, I'm like, whose inking I really liked over Scott's. I really like this guy. So I just reached out to him like, hey, here's the project that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do it? Awesome. I reached out to Rick Parker, who was also an Army veteran from the Vietnam era, and he's a great guy. And he's like, yeah, of course I'll letter it. So he jumped on board, and we've just been going from there.
No, that's cool, and it looks really good. Another thing I really appreciate is the fact that you have lettering in the page, because a lot of times what we see on these projects, even though the art might be great, we don't see any lettering. It's not in yet. And I think it's good to give people a taste of not only art, of course that's what sells it, but the story brings it back, right? So it's nice to give us a look at what the story is here, and you get a few pages of it up. It's nice, dude.
Thanks.
Now this is in Afghanistan, or is this in Iraq?
It's in Iraq.
It's in Iraq. Is there any specific region, or is that being held for obvious reasons?
The story takes place near a city called Bakuba,
Hmm.
which is about 20 miles north of Baghdad. It's the capital of the Diyala province.
Hmm.
It's where my unit was stationed, or where we were in charge of from 2005 to 2006. Uh, and it's the northern point of what's called the Sunni Triangle. So
Hmm.
there was a lot of insurgent guerrilla activity there, uh, and a lot of activity that we later found out was from the Iranian Republican Guard, and where Abu al-Zawqari,
Hmm.
I think I'm pronouncing that right,
Yeah.
uh, was hanging out and planning a lot of his stuff. So it was a pretty dangerous area, and you never knew quite what to expect. You could have the most chill day where you're just handing out candy and beanie babies to kids, or you could be in for the fight of your life,
Yeah.
and
No.
you just didn't know what was going to go on.
Nah. Wow. Yeah. Now I knew we gave out candy to kids. I didn't know we did beanie babies too. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we would have boxes of beanie babies and all different types of candy, and a lot of times our spouses or the family group back stateside would send it to us. It wasn't something like the army was sanctioning. It's just something we kind of did.
Yeah, it makes sense. It happens to no, Americans tend to do that. I don't know why, but we love to give candy out to kids and stuff. They did it here in Japan. From what I understand, they did it in Korea as well. I don't know about Vietnam, but I'm sure it did. I should ask my dad about that. But it seems to be something we do. I don't really recognize other countries doing it, but I don't really know. Maybe they do. But it makes sense. You want to try to make the population calm if you can in such a nightmare situation, but
Of course.
yeah. Now I don't want to stray away too much away from your story, but what do you think? Is Iraq and Afghanistan, are they getting better? You think? Do you think there's a positive future there for the people?
I think about that a lot lately, and it really makes me sad because when my grandfather was in World War II,
Uh huh.
afterwards you could go back to France, and you could go to Germany or Belgium
Sure.
or Holland or whatever. And you can even go to Vietnam today, or I spent some time in Korea. You can go to Korea.
Hmm.
It I don't think Iraq or Afghanistan is going to be a place that ever gets better. I think it just is what it is.
Mm. Well,
And that's sad, but
it is sad. I get what you're saying, but do keep in mind that if you go back just to the 70s, all those countries were just as modern as America. They looked a lot like New York and California, and the various people were going to clubs and dancing. People were fashionable. There were cars on the street. It looked completely different than it does today. And that's not too long ago. So meaning that it could go back to that. It could, right? So
parts of Iraq could. Afghanistan was never
no, Afghanistan wasn't.
never
That's true.
modernish. Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
yeah. Afghanistan's just an entirely different place. But there were parts of Iraq where we would be driving along, and you'd see people in modern Western clothing,
Hmm.
and then you drive 5 minutes outside of the city, and people are living in mud huts with in the full garb and all that, the full
Sure.
religious type of garb. So it's a weird place.
Yeah, no. Historically, it always has been. In Afghanistan, I could go into a long dissertation on that, but I won't because they'll yell at me. Anytime I talk about history stuff, they get mad. I can't do it. They're just mean. Yeah. But that's cool. Now, I'm going to look at this trailer here in a second. But before I do that, I would like for the guys to ask you some questions and, do their thing. Thundera, why don't you start, dude?
Alrighty. The only real question I have is, let's see, where to go. So you said this is based on actual events. Let's see here. When did this take place? Did you already answer that?
Yeah, so this takes place
Obviously.
in June of 2005. and it's actual events that I experienced, but I wrote myself out of it.
Oh, good.
If that makes any sense.
It does.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So what made you want to tell this particular story?
I was really still to this day, I'm fascinated. I can't get the heroics of some of the heroics of the guys that I was with out of my head. It's become a defining factor in my life. And in the story, we're in real life, we're regular infantrymen, right? We're not special forces or rangers or SEAL Team 6 or anything like that. We're not the super cool guys you would see in, Lone Survivor or Black Hawk Down. We're just regular guys. Some were 18-year-old kids just out of high school. Some guys, had a wife and family that they were taking care of. And so to me, it was just the extraordinary things that ordinary people can do that really made me want to tell this story.
Oh, that's cool. We actually had a question from the chat that was asking, is this a war story or does it have any supernatural or sci-fi type aspects to it? And I guess that answers it. So,
Yeah, it's 100% real war comics. When I was a kid, I found a bunch of the Nam that Marvel published back in
yeah,
the 70s.
yeah,
I found them at a flea market and bought like a whole box of them, and I was just completely enamored by that and Sergeant Rock. So they were kind of
sure.
the inspiration for a lot of this.
Who was that other guy in the 70s? I was trying to get this name the other. He's got a weird name. He's a great artist. And he did like military equipment, guns, tanks, all the stuff like that. Just epic level of art. He's like I said, he's got a really weird name, but I can't remember. He was really good at that stuff. He did those kind of comics. Oh damn, why can't I remember his name? But yeah, no, those are definitely cool things. And no, DeWolf, I would not be referencing the Hyksos. I would, in this situation, it would be about the Hittites. Would you like me to talk about that, DeWolf? I will. I will. Don't
No,
don't
no,
don't
DeWolf
threaten
would
me.
not. He would not. He would not like you to talk about that. No.
Busha says Chester is still in the Discord, like an absolute boomer. It'd be a real shame if someone popped in and repeatedly said, "Oh, Booster, he's such a bad boy." All right, fine, Booster. I will get out of it. All right, see, I'm going to show everybody me doing it. I'm out, and there we go. There we go. Okay, you happy? Damn, such a bully. Slick, you got any questions here for Travis?
No, it looks like a great project, actually.
Yeah, it does. I think it looks great, dude.
I might go throw some cash behind it because
Yeah.
it looks good.
Well, he's got 10 grand already. I mean, he's doing really good.
Yeah, he's done very well for a newcomer to crowdfunding. That's very good.
Yeah. Now that's a good point, actually, that we should ask. How did you come to do crowdfunding instead of trying to go through, one of the standard, streams of going through a publisher and such? What prompted you to do an Indiegogo campaign?
So with the Last Patrol, it's a one-shot graphic novel,
Hmm.
and I just didn't feel like any publishers would want to do just a one-off of anything.
Okay.
And I have ideas to do some more stories about Iraq and Afghanistan, but I just didn't feel that they would just go, oh yeah, we'll publish your one-time graphic novel and here you go, and out the door. And on top of it, I really wanted to own all the rights to it myself, just in case Netflix comes a calling.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Todd has decided to come back in. So, Todd, thank you very much for bringing Travis over to us. I am curious, is it Travis William Miller or William Travis Miller?
You can just call me Travis. Nobody calls me William unless I owe them money.
Oh, all right, rock on. So everyone in Indiegogo owns your money. That's good. Sorry, Todd, go ahead.
I have a question for you, and if you don't feel like you can answer, that's fine. Just curious, like Scott McDaniel's such a great artist. Why is he missing from comics, from mainstream? Why is his presence not there? Or it seemed like he kind of dropped off. and
I
hasn't
don't
been around?
honestly. I don't know. I've never really asked him about it. I know that when he was doing Static Shock with the new 52, there was some uh, drama between him and the writer of Static Shock.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I think it's going to sound really bad. I think that the mainstream comic book industry is kind of ageist. I mean, Scott's not old. I mean, he's 50, 51 maybe. He's in his
Mm-hmm.
early 50s. But I kind of feel that if you're not in your mid 20s to mid 30s, the industry just doesn't want to deal with you.
Hmm.
It might be a price factor. It might be, whatever. I know that it happened to Herb Trimpe famously in the early 90s when Marvel collapsed for a while. They just kind of set him out to pasture. Uh, and that was super sad. But
Yeah.
I'm just speculating. I'm
Oh
obviously
no,
not speaking for
we
Scott. I don't know.
we've had this
Uh,
conversation multiple
Yeah,
times. Yeah. Yeah. The
ageism happens in the
It does.
industry, and
Well, because we had a long conversation with R.T. Barry. We even talked about a little bit with Aaron Lopresti as well, just the other week. But it seems that what Art seems to think, and I think you would know. We spent decades in the industry. Is the fact that they don't want any more superheroes, meaning they don't want any more, superstars or a rock star type of thing, because it costs them too much money and they can't control it. So the industry seems to be very much set against having anyone become the artist themselves or the writer themselves becoming named. He gave a pretty good argument why he thinks that's happening. So I guess you could translate that into ageism. So I don't know. What do you think, Todd?
well, I think there's two different things what you're talking about.
Mm,
I think ageism happens where sometimes people like they've seen a certain style for a while, like Jerry Ordway, very competent artist, still very competent, but we've seen his style for so long, going back to the 70s.
mm,
So while the guy could still work and still does have the same magic in his line work, it's sort of a we need, he's not fresh. He's done. It's like Byrne. Byrne reinvented himself. It's a little bit here and there, style wise,
mhm.
but Byrne's still Byrne. You still can see that same style in him. So a lot of these guys end up just losing that fresh factor.
Hmm.
But the thing that you're talking about, yeah, they have tried to control page rates and bring them down by not letting people become kind of superstars and becoming something where they can demand more by having
Right.
cachet by name. They have been able to also control page rates, but they do that a couple of different ways. They hire a lot of third world talent, which great talent by the way,
Sure.
but they do that.
Yeah.
So
It's
it
good.
has been part of the industry for the last 10 years, I'd say.
Pricing things down, yeah. But I don't know. I'd much prefer to have an older artist who we know their style really well over a lot of this Steven Universe or Cal Arts crap we get. But I don't want to be real harsh on it because there's still a lot of great art in the big two, DC and Marvel. There's some really good stuff. So I don't know.
if I could just make one more point to that,
Yeah.
it, a lot of it comes down to the editor's choice
Mm,
on who's going to work on a book and what style they might be going for. And the editors have been getting younger and younger. I mean, editors,
True.
especially assistant editors at Marvel, have been, and that's just the example that I know, have been very young for as long as I can remember. I mean, Dan Chichester was, or no, not Dan Chichester. I'm just thinking of different editors that I've known that started off super young at Marvel as an editor, and they would hire the artists based on their tastes. And those guys age out and they move on to other things.
hmm.
So I think a lot of it has to do with just the general zeitgeist, along with the money factor.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to use that word here. They yell at you when you say those big words like that. But yeah, I got yelled at just the other day. Chester, stop talking above everybody. Fine. But yeah, no, I agree with you. That is going to open a conversation we don't want to get into because then people will get angry. Because one of the biggest problems is those young editors that they brought in, which doesn't make any sense. You want an editor is someone that needs to be experienced and can make sure everything is being done properly so that the story and money can be made and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, we agree 100%. We've had these conversations for nearly 2 years. But well, we don't want to get too far out in the weeds here. Let's go back to I don't want to look at your trailer. Now, I always ask this question, Travis. Am I going to like this trailer?
I think so. I put a lot of my TV commercial kind of feel into it. There's no talking. It's just music and visuals.
Oh, that's cool.
So I tried to make it as powerful as possible.
And you have experience with that, so that gives me a lot of happiness. Now, I do have a question before I do that though, because we've talked to a lot of people who have done comics and then went into script writing, whether or storyboarding for like movies, TV shows. I would assume commercials as well. How do you feel going the other way, going from doing scripts for commercials and coming in and doing scripts for comic books? How was that transition for you?
It was a pretty smooth transition because I had started off with comics and then went to television and then came back. But a lot of times, especially if my client's not spending $100,000 on a TV spot, I'm not going to be doing storyboarding. We're going to be doing it on the fly with a couple of photographs. Hey, this is the kind of shot that I want. Let's go with that, and really lean on my DP, director of photography, to get the shot that I want. And I like writing comic book scripts, especially in a very detailed manner, like what I gave to Scott for The Last Patrol. And that way, there's nothing left out. I know the old school Marvel way of here's a plot outline, go draw 22 pages, and then we'll dialogue it.
Right.
Works for some people, and it's working for me on my next project because I'm doing all of it, so I already know. But yeah, it's a pretty smooth transition. Cool. Sorry, I can get kind of verbose.
Oh, no problem, dude. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch it. So here we go.
He doesn't know who he's talking to.
He has no clue. Yeah, I know. All right, starting out nice.
I don't know if you guys can hear the music to it.
We can, and the people listening, they can't. We're not on the Discord side, but that doesn't matter. The listeners can. Blue Platoon. Interesting. Oh, we got some colored pages. Nice. Oh, the color went on that real nice. Dude, short and sweet. Perfect. Yes. Very nice, dude. Because we see a lot of, it's Mr. Trump and he's tweeting. What's new? But we see a lot of these trailers, and sometimes they're like 10 minutes long with someone just the talking head going on and on. So something that's sweet and to the point. Very nice, very nice, and that's like commercial size too. So good on you.
Yeah, and something just from working in advertising is that people don't really have attention spans.
No.
Anymore. So my most successful campaign was with doing a commercial for a home builder, and we initially built it for social media, so we kept it at literally 25 seconds, and they were turned into Google and YouTube ads and Facebook, and we had a 99% watch through rate.
Yeah, no,
so
makes sense.
98%. Yeah, 98% of the people would watch all the way through to the end because it was short. They got to the point, and it developed a lot of traffic. So I just took those concepts or those principles and brought them over to this.
Oh, makes sense. Did you drop this in other places like Google and etc. to get some motion on the comic?
We ran some Facebook ads, but the static image Facebook ads worked a lot better than the video ads.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. All right. Well, I think it's a cool looking campaign. I love the fact that you had some colored pages in the trailer, which we don't have down below, because especially this image right here with the door being kicked in. The who's doing the coloring? Because that looked really good.
We're going through Color Channel,
Uh huh.
and they worked on the Jawbreakers stuff for Richard Meyer.
Yeah.
So we really like them, or I really like them. I'm kind of the editor on this, so I say we a lot because it's a team effort. But I really like what Color Channel was able to do with Jawbreakers, and I saw some of their work with the Expendables book, and I'm like, that's it. They understand.
Well, it does look good, and so that's a good thing. And of course, Richard has had quite a bit of success himself. He actually had what was that book? I mean, because everyone talks about Jawbreakers. He also had the Iron Slice, but what was that other one he did about Vietnam, I think, or Korea? That was actually quite popular.
Oh,
He was
yeah, the Chosen,
the Chosin,
Chosen
yeah,
Reservoir
Chosin,
book.
yeah.
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good book. Have you guys read that? I liked that quite a bit. That was really nice. But
yeah, he
anyway,
sent me a copy of it a long time ago.
yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, me too. But the Jawbreakers is successful, and he's done some stuff. I'm glad you have had some contact with him because he's another veteran. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Army and the Marine Corps.
Yeah, that's a weird combination. How you go in the Army and then go to the Marines? How did that happen? That's weird.
I don't know. I've had soldiers that had spent time in other branches.
Hmm.
They would join one thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get to do all this super cool ninja stuff," and then they don't. So then they go into the Army to do super cool ninja stuff, and it turns out to be the same kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, I know my dad. He went from recon in Nam. I think he was over there 4 years, and he went into like DOJ. And then so I don't know how that works, but I guess that's not technically military, is it? It's government.
No, not really.
Yeah. But anyway, so very cool. Now we're going to come back and look at the perks here momentarily, but I want to get a couple of stories in today if I can. So Travis, hang with us. We're going to be looking at some stories here, and if you have an opinion, pop in, and you feel free to be part of the conversation. Okay. So let
Sure.
me bring these up. I got a lot. We won't be able to do all of them. But let me see here. Did I put him here? No, I didn't put him here. Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, worked out perfect. All right, here we go. Now, this is coming from Bounding in the Comics. I really love what they're doing over there. But this is a very interesting little premise. And Thundera, I guess you're my booster today. So go ahead.
Oh, how actually dare you? Five fantasy TV and movies you've never heard of that are awesome.
Ooh, that's a concept. That's something cool. I love to hear those things. Let's see if it's true. All right, let's see. Let's come down to our first one. I Am Dragon. This is a Russian movie. Wow. Have you guys ever seen a Russian movie before?
Yes.
Yeah, I have. I've seen a couple. Let me go click on it. Let's see if something bad happens to us. Probably something will bad happen, but that's all right. Let's see here. Ooh, it's pretty. Look at that.
Today I betroth my daughter Miroslava.
Oh, it's real pretty, dude.
Distinguished knight of our land, Sir Igor!
A little bit of green screen mess there, but not so bad. Ooh. Uh-oh. Rock and roll music in a Russian movie. Well, that's okay, I'm hooked. I'm there.
You can't run away from here. It's an island.
They got it in English too, so I don't know. I usually prefer subtitles, but
Who are you?
oh, I see. I don't know. What do you guys think? This looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
I'll teach you to live like a human.
I'd watch it.
Can't ever live like
Yeah.
a human. The dragon can come out at any moment.
That's pretty cool, dude. I didn't know the Russians were performing at this level. No, I
I think
didn't.
they're gonna.
Oh, yeah, there's
I
a-
think they're gonna outperform us in years to come. Because we're
Maybe.
getting soft and
There's a Russian
stupid.
superhero.
Well, I want more competition for Hollywood, dude. That'll make them better too. But
I agree.
yeah. But that looks pretty, dude. I don't know what to say. I mean, if you go back to the old Soviet years, some of the production values that they would put together were their productions were okay, but they were done in the old manner, kind of like the Ten Commandments type of style of movie making, right? Where they'd have literally tens of thousands of people on the field, and because they could do that, it was communist, right? But the Ilya Muromets is probably my favorite Russian movie, and that movie actually has a scene in it where it has the most people on screen in the history of movies, including horses too. It was pretty impressive. But I haven't seen anything for Russia that looked like this in quite a while. That's nice. All right, let's see. Coming down, we got another one here. Ren, the girl with the mark. All right, let's see. Is this from somewhere? This is Amazon Prime. I've never even heard of it. You guys heard of this?
Nope.
No.
No.
Huh. Well, let's take a look at it. I'm not making it full screen intentionally because they'll copyright strike us. They might do it anyway.
Protect us.
Why don't you like them?
You don't know them as I do.
I know they saved us from the marked ones.
There's only one reason why they're being Limgraf.
But
I
no
don't
one
know.
knows
It
I've
looks
seen
all
them.
right. It looks a little bit clean though, doesn't
Who are
it?
you? Get out of here!
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
they
Spirit.
need to distress their
Found a new vessel.
wardrobe a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm marked.
What have you done, Ren?
You won't go away.
All right. So yeah, no, this
Please,
kinda
my family
generic.
needs me.
it's very
All the people
generic.
you know-
It might be a good story, but that's a little bit CW to me. And everybody who was insulted by that, oh well. Let's see here. The main character Espen has no common sense, and his father and his brother. Okay, wonderful. Who's making this though? Doesn't say. It's not in English originally. It's not telling me who made this one, but okay, let's see. The Ash Lad.
It looks Norwegian.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's take a look here. Jansen, yeah, no, definitely Scandinavian, yeah. Ooh,
Look at this.
That's some good location shots.
yeah. Oh, it's the damn redheads though.
What do you mean
They're a
by more?
plague,
Sleeping up
a
and
plague
working
upon
since
us.
dawn. There's more to life than work.
Oh boy.
Can I come along? No.
Now this looks good. It's beautiful, and the
Ooh,
costumes
yeah, that
are
hall.
distressed, right?
That
Yeah.
hall was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. They look lived in. I mean, the stuff that's the royal stuff should look pretty clean, but yeah, not bad. Really nice location shooting. I like that.
Yeah.
He's willing to give her away to just anyone? The princess.
It seems to have a sense of comedy to it.
Saving the princess is my only hope.
Ooh, ooh.
Forget it. The Mountain King has taken her.
Isn't that just a fairy tale?
There's always some truth in every fairy tale.
I don't know. This one looks pretty cool. I might have to check this one out, dude. Trolls.
The Mountain King.
You know that's just an old myth.
Ooh, it's
Trolls are
Swamp Thing.
giants.
Swamp Thing, dude.
It's one thing that's been missing a lot in a lot of modern fantasy is the evil of trolls. It'd be nice to see them take their villainous spot back.
Well, we had that, what was that, Troll Hunter or whatever it was that came out some years back. That was pretty good.
Troll
man.
Hunter. They just had a troll on What We Do in the Shadows.
No, did they?
Hey. Yeah.
Hey, no spoilers. No spoilers, sir.
You be pissing me off, Colin Robinson. It was great. It was great.
Oh, look at that. All right, this looks fun. It's definitely Scandinavian, which is good, which means I can watch it in the original language. Yeah, no, that's the best so far. What do you guys think?
But you speak Norwegian?
I speak all the Scandinavian languages, yeah.
Oh my, how did you learn? How did you learn that shit?
Dude, I'm a philologist. What the hell?
What's that?
Whatever, man. You go and you speak Danish and Swedish and Icelandic and Norwegian and
Dude, it's what I studied in university. I did linguistics. Does that help you, Booster? Philology is too big a word. I understand.
Wait, you can speak Finnish?
You can philology these
Well,
nuts.
let me be fair.
Kinda,
Can I speak any language other than English? Nah, probably not greatly, but I can read it. I can understand it. You know, sure. I mean, my Japanese is pretty good.
Full of it, this one. He's absolutely full of it.
What do you guys have no respect for education. That's the problem with you. That's
I have
the
no
problem.
respect for you.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right, let me see here. So we have Mythica. It's like The Hobbit, it says. All right. I wonder if this is the Mythica from the German Mythica. I'm not sure. Let me check it out.
Ooh, oh boy,
best director of Women's Film Festival.
That sentence right there, that first sentence describe. Okay, you have to bear with us with this one. That's not a good way to sell your thing here, guy.
No, this is a generic looking one. Yeah.
Magic is not
Oh. Sorbo.
I'm in. It couldn't get any more generic unless it had a white screen with fantasy, medieval fantasy movie.
Right. But I mean, come on, we got some love for Kevin now. Come on.
I hope he preaches the word of Jesus.
I seek heroes to win their freedom.
Yeah, this very generic, dude.
This movie needs more metal bikinis.
It does, dude. Yeah.
Her hair is, I don't know what it is. It's really pretty
because it's
in the fantasy setting. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad CG, I think. We're gonna move on from that one. And the last one here says the Outpost. Now that sounds familiar. Talon is the black blood. All right, fine. Got lots of the ladies in here on all these things, but that's not.
I hate women.
Oh God.
The main character is named Talon. No.
Well, now to be fair, Talon is a female name and Raven is a male name. To be fair, the Americans have twisted that. Now, traditionally, Talon is a female name.
No one's name. It's terrible.
All right, well, that's a whole nother conversation. I will tell the entire race of Celts that Thundaro thinks that their names are stupid.
You tell my cousins their names are stupid.
Do that. Tell them. Right to their face.
Yes. All right, let's take a look here. What we got?
Oh no! This one literally is the CW.
It is the CW. The costumes aren't that. Oh no, they are bad. Damn it!
Oh
God!
God!
Oh God!
Yeah, they did.
Oh God!
They're not great. That was not good. Their wardrobe. See, you can always tell a good wardrobe person from a bad wardrobe person just by the fact that they don't. You really do have to distress things.
You do
and make them look lived in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the people look just they don't look right, and it's just how it is. And you'll see like a bad production, a really low production. It doesn't take much. I've done this before. It's not that hard to distress cloth and any other thing you're making your wardrobe or your props or whatever. It's easy to distress it. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and then you have something that ups the production value of everything that you do. And if you have a good gaffer to light it properly.
Yeah.
When you've seen better costuming at a Renaissance fair, you know you're in for a just quality show.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I have to say, the Ash Lad, it looks like a bit of fun comedic fairy tale. That looked nice. And that one not so much. What was the one we liked here? The Russian one here. That I think I'll check that out, dude. That looked pretty good. And I haven't seen that kind of production out of Russia, and I can't even remember. So I'm going to check that one out. But
I'm Dragon and Ash Lad. I like those. They look pretty cool.
They do. Yeah. But now, just to make you happy, Booster, I cannot watch the Russian in Russian. Does that make you happy?
Oh no!
I failed.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happy anymore.
I have no Russian ability. Does that make you happy?
No, you must flame yourself.
How come
publicly?
I thought you were studying Scandinavians and the Rus, that's the root of Russian. Why didn't you do Russian?
Because Slavic is a made-up language by a bunch of idiots that decided they were going to take a little bit of Greek and a little bit of this. Yeah. Okay.
I thought all languages were made up.
I think that's English as well.
No,
Yeah.
actually, the Slavic language
Actually,
is actually, thank you, a created language, where English is a language that we could get into the whole Lord Bacon conversation, but English is has a more natural affinity that has been applied since Egyptian times, right? But the Slavic was actually
whatever.
created by a
bastardized
bunch
German.
of priests, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
The story of
moving
English
on.
is a great show. You should watch it.
Yeah, no, I think this looks cool. I'm going to check it out. But anyway, now the next little article, I don't talk about them over here much, but you guys know I love board games. I love it, love it, love it. And this, of course, as you see, the absolute ridiculous amount of money that it's making.
Kermit, Blood and Sand.
Yeah, no,
Not Kermit.
Kermit. God.
Kermit.
Which is a
Where's the
rebirth
R? I don't see
of a
an R.
classic from Madagot. Master godlike power.
Do you know what Kermit means,
It's not
Booster?
easy being a game.
Kermit.
Kemet is the actual word
Poor Travis has
of
to put up
what
with
you would
this.
call Egypt. Egypt is a Greek word, and that's therefore the Ptolemy reign.
I didn't know Kermit was from Egypt.
Oh God! But anyway, this is the newest version of Kemet, Blood and Sand. It's they do remakes of these every now and then, add a little bit. Of course, if you are in the board gaming world, you know that Kemet is one of those legendary games that everybody owns. So this is really exciting to see this coming out, and it looks really good as well. For those of you who don't play board games, this would be a good one to maybe start on. It's a game where you're moving forces around, you're trying to gather resources, and you're trying to control Kemet, right? And it's a lot of fun. I love the game, and this is a new version of it. The version I have is the original version, so it might be time for me to update my game, to be honest with you, because there'll be some DLC in this as well. But the pieces look great, and like I said, if you've never played this game and you see it in a store, I suggest you buy it. Now,
Just you bid up your Kemet.
What? Oh God! Any of you guys play board games at all? Anybody?
I would if I had more people around here to play them with, like more people I actually know. But for the most part, everybody I know, like my actual personal circle, hates board games. So.
Oh, I see. Well, of course, I do have the school, and I do play. Not this. I wouldn't play this game with them, but I do have a whole bunch of games I do play with the kids on occasion. But this is one of the games that falls into a category for me because I do have games which I played with my kids growing up, of course. But most of my games are games that are really good with two. My wife and I like to play board games. This game is great with two. So it falls into that category. But I know I don't talk about them much here, and I get no love when I do talk about them. But this is a cool game, guys, and and they're making crazy money for a reason, right? Now, of course, we've talked about before. I won't go into the page so much, but were they up to 4,500 now? Yeah, almost 358,000 right now, and there's still 19 days to go. This will probably get over 1 million. It might even get 1.5 million. We talked about how over here we've had some successful campaigns. I mean, the most successful one so far has been, I guess Doug Tenaple, right? Earthworm Jim. That was like almost $1 million, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's far and beyond what we normally see. Most of them get around a really successful one is like 100,000 or more, right? Most of them are hitting around $10,000 to $50,000 is what we're seeing, which is fine. It needs to grow. It's a kind of a new concept, but you see what the board gamer people are doing and how much money they're making. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So we need to get ourselves to that level. But I won't bore you anymore.
I've got to make myself a board game then.
Yeah, maybe that might be a way to go. But this is good news. I was really happy when I saw it, and moving on. Let's see. We still got time. Good. This one's for Booster. Go ahead, Booster. Booster.
He shows up late. He disappears.
You know what it is? The Kermit
Boosters.
thing got them all randy, I think.
Yeah. Booster's totally unreliable.
All right, second Booster. Go ahead, Thundero.
Oh, this son of a bitch. Kingdom Hearts rumored to arrive on Disney Plus with new CG animated series. Next.
Now, come on now. Come on now. I've never been a person to play Kingdom Hearts either. Booster just showed up. I heard him.
When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby,
Oh, God.
don't go.
God. But anyway, my daughter loved this game growing up, though, dude. I thought it's not this one, the older version, but there's a demographic that absolutely is dedicated and loves Kingdom Hearts. Booster being one of them.
I have a Keyblade in my closet.
Yeah, of course you do. So tell us, what do you think about Disney Plus putting up a new CG animated series, dude?
That'll probably be shit.
Probably. Oh God, it might be good. I mean, Disney does that kind of thing pretty well, dude.
I don't know how
they used to do it pretty well.
Oh come on,
I have
the
no
Pixar
idea
stuff's
how
so
they're
good.
going to manage to get across its weirdly complex lore with kids. I don't know how it's. I don't know how it's going to be written. I don't know who's writing it. If it's being made in Japan or America. Because if it's being made in Japan by that whack job Nomura, then it should be like way too complex for kids.
Well, Disney does own all the IP. They have all the assets, right? Let's see who's making this. This is Disney and Square Enix, beloved video game. True, true, true. The CG animated series. Who's making it? Founder, editor-in-chief, MCU Comics and DCU Mythic, Jeremy Conrad published a simple tweet. Okay, so this is being made in Disney. It's not being made by the Japanese. But I mean, like I said, Disney owns all the IP. This could be good. I hope it is, because there is a built-in fan base for this who just absolutely love it. Like I said, Booster, my daughter.
Booster, you'll be glad to know I tried to get my wife to come on the mic and say Booster's a weeb, and she said, "Why? Because I like Kingdom Hearts too."
So who's that character we're looking at, and why does he have a Louis Vuitton? Suitcase.
That is Sora.
Sora, which means sky.
And Nomura has a habit of designing his characters way too many zippers and little things all over them.
It's like Rob Liefeld.
Chains and zippers. Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
He does have what it looks to be a Louis Vuitton.
It does,
suitcase.
doesn't it? It does.
It's
yeah.
very weird.
It is weird. It's a weird game, dude. I mean, you're going on playing this Japanese anime, and all of a sudden Goofy jumps out, or some other thing. It's like, what? Exactly. It's very bizarre. But the kids like it, and like I said, my daughter is not much younger than young Booster here. So I just thought it'd be cool to talk about because I had no clue they were doing a series over at Disney Plus for it. It's good. I think it's good. It's happy news. Happy news. Oh no.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Bye, boys.
All right, later, Booster. This one, a new rumor details which Green Lanterns will star in the HBO Max series. Now, we know that HBO has been threatening us with Green Lantern for quite a while. It sounds like they're starting to move forward with it. But who's going to be in it? Is it going to be our boy Hal? Is it going to be Jon Stewart? Is it going to be the multitude of other ones? What was that girl lantern that Ethan created? What's her name?
Jessica
Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz. Could be her as well. But let me see here. Contrary to previous reports, a new rumor says legacy Green Lanterns Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart will be major players in the series. Well, they should be. Who's your favorite Green Lantern? Let me just ask that question, because this article isn't going to tell us anything. They never do. Who's your favorite Green Lantern?
Mine's Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner. Okay, well, I know Thundero's on board with you.
No. Thundero's Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan. How about you, Todd?
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan. Slick?
Don't care.
Wow. Okay, that was not nice.
He's like
I'll go with the black guy just because
Jon Stewart, just because representation. No, for me, it's definitely Hal Jordan as well. Although I didn't mind Jon Stewart so much. My kids watched a couple of Green Lantern animated series I saw, and they never really did Jon Stewart correctly. In the animated series, he has no imagination. He's just kind of blasting things all the time. He doesn't build anything. He's just very military guy. But in the comic, he's actually a pretty good Lantern. So I don't know why it didn't translate over, but because I don't mind Jon Stewart at all. I hate Guy Gardner. Annoying little crass brat. I never liked Guy Gardner. I like Hal Jordan. And what's the other one that
That's
came
what's
out?
fun about him.
I guess, and you're not alone, dude. A
Kyle
lot of people
Rayner.
love him. Kyle Rayner, I didn't care for either, but he's too much of
Yeah.
a Mary Sue dude, to be honest with you. But Hal Jordan, he's got well-developed character, and yeah, we'll say Hal Jordan's right, and the rest of you are wrong. Perfect. All right.
I liked Kyle Rayner just because he was a comic book artist and had more of an imagination.
That's fair. They did play that in pretty well, and he tied in. I believe he tied in quite a bit to that whole thing Ethan was doing with the War of the Rings and the Red Lanterns and the Yellow Lanterns and the Larfleeze there with the Orange Lanterns, etc., etc.
They didn't have like the whole color, like black, white, every color of lanterns you could.
They did,
possibly
but
think of.
I think they laid it out pretty well as far as what they were doing, and I do believe Kyle Rayner became the White Lantern, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure.
That's racist. That's racist.
Is it? Okay, fine. But it wasn't that bad a story arc. You guys didn't like the Ring Wars?
No, I liked it. I thought it was much needed development for the mythos of the Lanterns, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that rebirth that brought Hal Jordan back, wasn't that part of that ongoing story? Or was it the setup for it? I can't remember. But that
I think it was the setup.
Yeah, I think so. But that return of Hal Jordan, which I think once again was an Ethan book, that was really good, dude. That was really, really good. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, him and Jeff Loeb, or not
Yeah.
Jeff Loeb, Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns, yeah, Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. What do we talk about comic books for? Jesus. All right. Now,
I really
That's
hope
unheard
that,
of over here.
I really hope
Check
that they
your
do
temperature.
this. That they do this Lantern show well, because I do think that the Lanterns could be a very good TV series.
Yeah,
I don't think the Lantern makes a good film, and I
now
think
that the lore is deep, I think you're right.
yeah, I think they could do a really good buddy cop show with the Lanterns. It would work out great.
Well, like I said,
So
my
I
kids.
have a tangential question to that.
Yeah.
I have a tangential question to that. Is it going to bounce off of Zack Snyder's Justice League, since it's going to be on HBO Max, because there's supposed to be a Green Lantern in that?
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. And it's interesting that they made that decision, because that's going to cost them a lot of money to give us the Schneider cut, because it did nothing.
$30
That one doesn't exist, so they have to make it. But that'd be interesting if they do. I have no clue, dude. I have no clue. I do know that, like I said, my kids watched a couple, and there was like this CG one. It wasn't bad at all. A CG Green Lantern thing where they were some distant area of the galaxy and doing their thing. But that wasn't bad. I watched it with them, and that was good fun, man. Yeah, so that you could do a great Green Lantern story, I think. Particularly a series, because you have so many. You got the cores. There's so much scandal and underhanded politics going on. There's a lot of stuff you could do. Now, I have no idea if this is going to be more leaning for kids, or is it going to be more toward us. They say it's an HBO Max series, whatever that means. I have no clue. Is it going to be more adults, or is it going to be more kids? Anybody? No one knows. All right.
I don't think they have any idea.
I don't know. I mean, I would think if it's on HBO Max, it's probably going to be older demographic, but who knows?
Well, what is HBO
I think
Max?
it should be an older demographic, but I mean, that there's more money there. Because kids, if you do it right, if you can get a broad demographic swatch, you can do four quadrant, and that would be what they should do. So,
well,
but I mean, problem is today, a lot of the writers today I don't think they have the skills to craft such a thing.
That is a problem. Yeah, but every now and then we see a gem. We do. So what is HBO Max though?
It's a new streaming service where they're going to have original content just for it.
Yeah,
so it's like HBO Go was just HBO that you could get on your phone or whatever, on the go. But this is going to have original content that is unique to it.
Cool. Travis, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think it's just HBO is starting to roll all of their different streamings, HBO Go, HBO Now, the Prime app for HBO. They're starting to roll it all into one main HBO Max, and it's going to have original content.
Cool. Everyone's doing it. We're gonna have to pay $1,000 a month to watch TV these days. It's awesome. But this would be cool. I'd love to see what they do. Hopefully, they don't screw it up. Oh God, please don't be CW. Oh, that would be bad. Let's see. I got time. One more. I can do one more before I go back over to Travis's project. So I got the, okay. I want to do this one. Now, this is very short. It's very quick, and we can move on to another quick one, and we'll be done. But freaking John Boyega. Go ahead, Thunder.
Star Wars actor John Boyega, I hope that's not the only credit he gets, hates white on black racism that ruined the world.
Now, Boyega here is.
That's a terrible headline.
It is, but I mean, Boyega, this kid, he's so confused, man. Because one day he'll come out and say something very harsh and headline grabbing, that is like it's very I don't know, conservative in opinion, and then the next day he'll come out with some outrageous statement like this. He's always ping ponging back and forth across the spectrum. It's like pick a lane. I saw him the other a thing the other day where they were talking about the rise of Skywalker, and on the red carpet he came dressed in full Liberian garb, and I was like, what? Really? That's who you are? Really?
That's brilliant.
Well, because it's not him at all, right? But this kid, he's just confused. He's upset. He's never going to do Star Wars again. He mocks them. He gets mad, and then all of a sudden he hates white people again. I don't know. It struck me as funny because he really hates racist. Well, get on board there, buddy. Make sure you don't become one. Mm-hmm. I just think it's hilarious because he cannot stay on track or have a consistent opinion. Is this maybe, Travis, coming into the modern young people where they have like zero attention span?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much about the dude beyond he was.
Yeah, well,
it's
Star Wars.
It's a really bold stance to take.
Is
Hating
it?
racist.
Is it? Yeah. But no, he's all over the place. Sometimes he'll say something like, "Oh, okay," and then he'll be literally on the other side of the spectrum. He's just all over the place. I understand his frustration with Star Wars because the original Force Awakens. I mean, it wasn't a super great movie, but it was watchable. It was fun to a point, and he was the best part of it. And then they just basically threw him away, which I think was a waste because the two really good actors, other than the guys coming back, but the two good young actors were him and Adam Driver. The rest of it was very mediocre.
Adam Driver was fantastic.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Yeah.
Adam Driver's a fantastic actor. Period.
Yeah.
He needs to do more. Give him all the roles. In fact.
Yeah, no, he'll be fine.
He should have his ears pinned back, though, for God's sake.
My whole thing about this is, why am I listening to actors and what they think? Because,
True.
I mean, they are paid to act out lines somebody else wrote, and somebody is literally telling them exactly how to do, right?
Yeah.
Why else do you have writers and producers and directors, except to tell, a handsome guy, hey, say this line like this, swing this tube, and then we're going to make it into a laser sword. Got it. Good. Okay. So I don't care about, what John Boyega thinks ruined the world, because I don't think actors are that smart.
No, that's fair. Yeah. White on black racism that ruined the world. I'd love to see the evidence on that. But whatever. That's not the point of reason why I brought it up. I brought it up because he just can't stay on target. He swings across the spectrum. I mean, it's ridiculous. But the sad thing about it is, Boyega's not a bad actor, but I think he'll have a hard time finding any work. Disney will certainly not hire him again for anything because he's been bad-mouthing them straight out. So I think he's really hurt his career potential. Adam Driver will be fine, Everybody else, I have no clue, dude. Because who's that guy that plays that stupid character, the best pilot ever? What's his
Poe?
name? Yeah,
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaacs.
Oscar Isaac.
God, that guy sucks,
Yeah.
man.
He's been in a lot of movies though already.
Yeah, and I
What?
hate him in all of them.
Oh my god, I love that dude.
You
I
do?
love it. I love
I
that
can't stand that guy. He's so annoying. But he can act
I am
though. I'll give him
apathetic
that.
about that guy, so that's even worse.
Yeah.
He was in this great series on HBO about the mayor of Newark that actually tried to clean it up.
I haven't seen that.
And I thought he was fantastic in it.
Yeah. No, I've seen him in two things. I've seen him in Star Wars. I can't stand him. And I saw him in Apocalypse. I can't stand him.
He also was in Sucker Punch. He was the guy who ran the brothel and one of the.
See, I can't even remember who or what he's in. See, that's how horrible he
And
is.
he was in Ex Machina.
Oh,
Yeah, he was in that too.
Yeah, he was in that movie. That was way overhyped. Like we've seen that story so many times. Anyway, I'm not going to agree because I don't like him.
In Triple
Shuster,
Frontier, he was
what?
he was really good in Triple Frontier.
Did he try to do something to you one day? And
No, you know what it was? I mean, I am half joking because he is actually a pretty good actor. But you know what put me off on him is they were doing the red carpet for, I think, Force Awakens, and they were interviewing all the stars, of course, and he was sitting up there with Carrie Fisher, and of course we know Carrie Fisher, she went downhill. We know this, right? No disrespect, but she did, and she turned into kind of the old. Of course, it was cocaine, not wine, but the old whiny, the wine drinking auntie is what she turned into. But he's sitting up there with her, just like he's their longtime girlfriend, right? I mean, girlfriend, not friend, girlfriend is how he's acting. And he was just this over the top flamboyant. It was just annoyed the hell out of me, dude. And I won't forgive him. I shall not forgive him.
You know the saddest thing about Carrie Fisher dying is it killed her mother, Debbie Reynolds.
It did, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, her mom had a great career too, and the thing about a lot of these Star Wars guys, it's kind of interesting. Harrison Ford went on to become the Golden Boy legendary actor, right? Mark Hamill went on to do tons of great voice acting, maybe one of the best voice actors in the business, right? And then Carrie Fisher, I don't know if you guys know this, but she did a lot of screenplay writing, some pretty big hits.
She did a lot of writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all had success, just in different ways across the industry. But I don't think the same's going to be true here. I really don't. Because I think the only thing you're going to see come out of here is maybe Oscar Isaac, because he is a pretty good actor, and Adam Driver. I think everything else is just going to be left and lost to the wind, dude.
Yeah, well, they're very forgettable movies. So, like, if they didn't have a career before, this last Star Wars trilogy, I don't think they'll have a career afterward. Nobody's going to remember it.
Yeah.
Come on. Kelly Tran's going to go places.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I saw that Daisy Ridley in that Hercule Poirot movie.
Yeah.
And
so did
I didn't even recognize her. I
Yeah.
didn't even know it was her at first.
Yeah, because she was very unmemorable. Yeah.
She was pretty good on Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, that's the one he's talking about. The
was it?
Perot movie. Yeah. It was.
My favorite one is where she plays the nude dead body. It was great.
Yeah, well, that's not her though. That's a mistake. It's not her. Yeah, I get your point because it looks like her, but it's not her.
It does look like her. I'm
The
just
Autopsy of Jane Doe. It's another actress. That's a good movie, by the way. It was all right. But there's been several renditions of the Murder on the Orient Express that are way better. She was all right. She was all right, and I hope she gets work because I don't. I mean, I know there's a lot of hate toward Daisy Ridley, but there shouldn't be. It's not her fault. She was given an
don't hate any of
opportunity
the actors.
to make money. And,
I don't hate any of the
it's the
actors.
studio.
Even Laura Dern, who played that idiotic character.
Oh, that was really bad. Yeah, but I hope they all have success. But I just don't think. I don't think Daisy really has the chops. But who knows? She might gain them. It's possible. Yeah. But anyway, I stayed on that much longer than I wanted to. Let me just go through
Let's
these
go
quick.
help Travis
Yeah,
out.
we need to go back over there. Let me just see if there's anything. Moon Knight, we're talking about that. Disney Plus thing is coming up. This right here is a little bit about Serious Sam, which there's a bit of controversy because the harpy has no boobies, which who cares? But the fact that Serious Sam 4 is in development, I thought was pretty cool. This one right here is The Last of Us 2, which is an absolute trash fire right now. Which is the whole thing is sad. But of course, it's not going to be allowed in the Middle East. Banned. Shocking, right?
Shocking.
Shocking.
I'm amazed.
And that doesn't need to be talked about. So that's what I had for today. And let's come back over and finish up with looking at Travis's perks. All right. So same place. All right. So he's already got 10 grand in the bag. He's got 5 days left. I'm sure you would like to make a lot more than that because I'm assuming there's not much profit in that right there. That's just kind of getting the book done, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The more the better. I'm not really doing comic books for the profit. It would be fantastic to get profit. I'm looking to not pay out of pocket for anything, but yeah.
No, with
it would be super nice.
Oh, sure, but with this money, you should be not be out of pocket. You should be all right with this. But of course, we'd like to see you make some more money. Interesting. Not only is it a war story, but it's a war story from the perspective of the person who was there. That adds a lot to it, But let's take a look here at what he's got for his perks. Now, of course, once again, this is on Indiegogo, guys. And the last patrol looks like we got stickers coming on here, and it says graphic novel and stickers. Oh, there you go. Now, you are not doing a digital, I'm assuming?
No, not right now. We do have plans to maybe put this on a digital platform.
Like Comixology or something?
After people get their physical copies.
Yeah, that's cool. We do suggest that you do offer digital because there's I'm sure when you were setting this up, you understood the absolute insanity of worldwide shipping. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the digital helps with those people outside, and we have seen several projects where they delay the digital, and that's fine. Yeah, but definitely make sure you have something available for it for those overseas that just don't want to pay that $25-$30, right?
Yeah, that
Extra.
is a lot.
It is.
It might be something we add on tomorrow just to gain a little bit more.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt you. I mean, we've been talking about that here for a year and a half. We've done a lot of Indiegogo projects here. We've talked to a lot of people, and there's certainly two camps, right? You have one camp that is pro digital and one camp that just hates digital. They refuse to do it, and the ones who refuse the digital tend to be more toward the pros. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't, and but the argument I think is for me, I think it makes sense that you have digital and that you delay it. I think that's the proper way. What do you think, Thundero?
Yeah, no, I think that's you're correct, 100%. That's the proper way to do it. I know a lot of people like Booster. If he was still here, he would tell you how ridiculous international shipping is for him. Like he'll pay sometimes twice to 3 times as much for the shipping than he would for the book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he pays more than I do, and
That's
I'm in
crazy.
Japan, and it's $25.
Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty ridiculous. So a digital copy, I think, especially delaying it's is pretty smart. It slows it from getting leaked if it's going to be leaked. And it's just, I think that's all the right way to do it.
Well, I think it was saying
I think we might do the digital in demand. Once the campaign ends, and then it goes to in demand, just because I don't want people to all of a sudden go, oh, refund, and then turn around and I'm just going to get the digital.
That's the argument, but we haven't seen that happen, dude, practically. And like I said, I don't even know how many Indiegogo projects and Kickstarter projects we've looked at. It's a lot, dude. And we just don't see that happen. That's not what people do. But like I said, having the digital available and delaying it, I don't think there's a problem with that at all. I think that's fine. But having it available, I think, is a nice little touch. It's not going to make you a bunch of money, but to add on. But I will suggest to you adding the digital. don't undercut your price so much. Even though you're not
Mhm.
spending production, there's no need. Like, let's see, you don't have a single. It doesn't look like you have just the book thing, but let's say in this community, $25 is pretty standard, which is what you got. You just added some stickers on it, so there's no reason you can't charge 10, $15 for the digital, right? You don't have to undercut
Yeah.
it so much. You don't have to, $5. You don't have to do that, dude. It's okay. Yeah. And everyone agrees because the real reason people get the digital is so that they don't have to pay that shipping. And then what you could do on the back end is you could take that digital and add it as a like a stretch goal to every single perk, so everyone gets the digital eventually, right? Just in
Yeah,
case
makes
they
sense.
want to read it on their iPad or what have you. But anyway, cool. All right. So it's a pretty standard book that we normally pay for. Plus, you got some stickers. Who's making your stickers, by the way?
I have a vendor here in Arizona that's going to be printing them up for me. I like to try to stay local as much as possible, as long as it stays within the budget.
So, how do you survive in Arizona? Just curious.
Well, today was 107, so we actually don't really go outside until, like 6 in the evening.
You mean December?
Yeah, it's like opposite winter.
Yeah, no.
All I know is one time in the middle of the summer, it was I want to say it was like July or August. I flew into Phoenix at 2 in the morning, and it was 122 degrees outside. And I said,
Yeah.
"This is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
How can anybody live?"
I got you beat. When I was a kid, my uncle and my aunt lived in Mesa, and he was going to dental school.
Oof.
And my cousins said, "Want to see something cool?" And they took an egg out of the fridge, went and threw it on the asphalt, and it cooked on the asphalt, and it was 127. And I was like, "Why do people live here?" I was 9
Yeah.
at the time.
You can bake brownies in your car.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
God,
crazy.
dude. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no, because I actually went to Arizona once in my life, and I'll never go back. But I used to do
Jacob Lake's nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But I was actually used to do the SCA, which is a type of medieval sword and shield fighting, and which I loved it. It's kind of like football with weapons. It's awesome. But we actually had an event in Arizona, out in the desert. It was actually in one of the cooler months, but it was deadly hot. And we're running around in metal armor. Oh my God, we're a bunch of idiots. The only cool thing about that whole event was the nighttime. And my God, the stars, dude, just stunningly beautiful. Because we were nowhere
Yeah,
near
yeah.
any town. It was really good, really nice, dude. They call it
And
Big Sky
it,
Country for a reason, dude.
if you go over to ASU, the nighttime is very good too.
Yeah.
Not for the stars, just
Right.
for the co-eds.
Oh,
I
okay.
play ice hockey out by ASU, and you're out, playing a 3-hour game. You're on the ice for 2-3 hours. You come out, you're sweating. All your pads and all that are all full of sweat and all that, and you're outside for 5 minutes and everything's dry. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't understand why ice is anywhere near Arizona.
Technology. We do live in 2020.
Oh, fine.
Humans have conquered weather.
Fine. Fine.
Fuckers.
All right, let me keep moving on here. Now, what is this? Book, stickers, and shirt. Oh, well, you're selling a shirt too. Now, I don't see the shirt here displayed. Of course, you're at the end of the campaign, but usually when you do these things, just for future reference, throw the shirt in there so they can see it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
We've been going through a couple of different designs, and then I got loaded down with television commercial work. But basically, it's a black T-shirt with the Last Patrol logo. It's being printed up by our friends at T-24. So if you've been to any Comic-Cons on the East Coast in the past few years, you've seen some of their work.
This logo here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. Neat. All right. And then we have down here, we have all of that plus a lithograph. Very nice.
Yep.
Very nice. Have you had any of those made yet? Have you proofed those yet?
I have not. Scott has the first 20 pages penciled, and we have the first 10 inked and lettered. And Scott's working on another project right now. So once he's done with that, then he's going to jump onto that. And honestly, I don't want to have a box of 250 lithos just hanging out in the house.
Yeah, sure.
I'd
Makes
rather
sense.
have it.
How many pages is the book anyway?
It's 36 plus a couple of pages of forward and afterward.
All
So,
right. Cool. All right. So it's getting up around that 40, I'd say. All right.
yep.
And we
Hey,
have.
Chester, I gotta drop out real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll see you guys next show. Have a good night. This project does look pretty cool, so anybody listening, check it out. I like it. I like military stories. I don't think there's enough of them in the world, and this one apparently is a true one. So, later, guys.
Bye, Thundero. Bye.
Bye.
Later, dude. Later. Now here we have for $300. You're doing some original art. Now, does this also get you the book and everything, or is it just an original art page?
It's the book and the original art page.
Okay, so you get
And
those two.
and we'll throw in the litho too.
Oh, cool. That's neat. Kind of do it like a stretch goal. And then, of course, you have the book and the original cover. Wow.
Yep.
You're going to sell the cover.
Maybe.
Goodness. Maybe.
If somebody
Well,
claims that, if somebody claims it, then I'm going to. But somebody might enjoy it a little bit more than I do. But also it puts us, a little bit further past the goal. So
that's true. That is true. And we see a lot of people will sell original pages, pretty normal. And I think your prices are very adequate for that. They're not. It's not overpriced at all. So all right, guys. Well, that's the end of his perks. It's a very simple, straightforward campaign. It's a military story with a great artist, and the story is coming from the horse's mouth, as it were. So that's pretty cool in and of itself. The perks are easy. Make your choice. And I like the look of it. I think it's cool, and thank you very much for coming on and joining us, Travis.
thanks for having me.
Now, keep in mind, guys, that when you go over to this page, you can, even if you don't decide to back the project, you can at least share it out. Hit these Facebooks and these Twitter links and the other ones they have, and let's get more eyes on it, because that always helps. So, all right, let me come back over the other side and end up the show here. All right. So. All right, cool. All right, well, thank you very much, Travis. It was a lot of fun having a chat with you, and thank you, Todd, for bringing him over to us. We appreciate it. But you got a dog there. What kind of dog you got?
Yeah, it's just we don't know what he is.
We don't know what he is. Yeah. Okay, cool. American.
He's a dog.
He's an American dog. Yeah. I have a Schnauzer who's sitting next to me licking his balls. It's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. But
everybody has to have a hobby.
Everybody has to have a hobby, and dogs are fun to have around. But all right, let me now. What we do here when we end the show, Travis, is I'm going to let these guys give their closing comments, and I'm going to end with you. And what we do here is we always end the show on a namaste. Now, what that means is we want you to, when I come to you, give your last pitch, your last conversation about the book, and then you're going to end with some encouraging words that we can namaste. Okay?
Sure.
So think about it. All right. So Todd, closing statements, please.
Yeah, hopefully people got to see a bunch of the book, and they may not have known about it, and so they're interested. Travis is one of those guys who has a decent presence on social media, and the fact that he's got Scott McDaniel really has me piqued. Because we talked about this, Chester.
Yeah.
Always liked his sort of action. You know what I mean? It was always he always pulled the guy with one hand on the ledge and two legs going over so well. That was like his go-to pose. So I'm really glad he came. We got to take a look at it with him, and lets everyone who's missing out on some comics, because really, even though comics are back, it's a trickle. There's really not that many. So if you're looking for something good, why don't we put that money towards Travis's book here?
Yeah, well, with the states opening up and things, the economy, the stock markets were raging back. It's a good time to do a project. I think it's starting to getting clear weather here. But you and I know we noticed that when we saw the door being kicked in. We're like, oh yeah, I mean that we know who that is, right? Because he does that really well. Yeah. So that is cool. I agree. Slick.
Well, yeah, you can visit me at Slick Jimmy Speaks on on YouTube, and there's the cheesecake challenge on Monday,
Nice.
9 p.m. And you can do that, and you can come at Slick Jimmy Love on Twitter. And then there's my book that's still in demand, Little Girl Lethal, if you want to go look it up. So there you go. That's me.
Sweet. All right, guys. And of course, keep in mind that here coming up in less than a half hour, Blacklist Universe, of course, has their pro edition of the Drawn and Quartered. And last week on the fan edition here, we had actually two artists. We had a tie, which is very rare. We sent them both over to Mike via Edwin, of course. So definitely go check that out. Those guys are really good. They should give those pros a run for their money. That comes up in, like I said, less than a half hour. And but yeah, all right, let's get out of here and let's let Travis give his last words and his namaste.
So, guys, thanks for having me on. It's been real fun. Everybody listening, please check out The Last Patrol on Indiegogo. It's based off of actual events of the Iraq War. It's a 40-page graphic novel. I think you'll really enjoy it. We have art by Scott McDaniel and Derek Fisher with lettering by Rick Parker, hand-lettered on the boards itself. So it's something super rare these days. And just a namaste motivational thing. Just whatever you're doing, get after it. There's no time like right now, because there will never be another time like right now.
No, that's very true. Namaste indeed. All right, guys. Well, thank you all very much. Fun show. Come back tomorrow where we will be doing at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time the Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. And let me just check real quick what is our scheduled topic. Let me see here. What did they decide to do? Metal Militia. I have no clue. But anyway, that should be fun. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much, and later.
Thanks.
See ya.